Hey guys, RageBarTV here, back with another video. Today I'll be bringing you a guide on how to defeat Dragon City Corridor on normal difficulty, so let's get started. First off, you want to place markers on either side of the boss room, 2 behind each pillar closest to the bosses, and 2 where the tanks will be stacking, as shown in the video. 3 more markers will be placed in the middle of the room for Find Your Buddy mechanic, and then you want to split your raid group to even out DPS, as the bosses must stay in close HP, as phase changes will equal out the bosses with the highest HP. So ensure you also assign 3 lowest or middle DPS and 1 healer to stand in a line to soak a fireball and a snowball on either side. After this mechanic, the frost side will get chilly wind and have to drop a blue puddle away from the group, which deals damage to anyone inside. Make sure your raid understands the difference between the chilly wind mechanic and the stacking behind the pillar mechanic, or a puddle will go behind the pillar and kill your group. On the fire side, 3 purple beams will be placed on random members. Ensure they stack behind the pillar to avoid the damage. So the first phase is from 100% until the boss reaches 66%. Ranged AoE circle, both groups need to stack close to the boss. Ice cage and fire circles, find your buddy, you'll run to the middle markers. Ice puddles, so you need to spread out with the ice boss, and fireside has purple rectangles, which is the LOS behind the pillar. And then there's the share damage mechanic, which is LOS on both sides, and you repeat until the boss hits 66%. Phase 2 starts at the end of the above phase. Lower HP the boss has means the higher the regain is going to be when they go to the middle. If both the bosses are not within the same amount of HP, when the phase changes, the bosses go to the middle, they do a high five, and they exchange HP to whichever boss has the highest. The next phase ends when the boss hits 33%. You have a fireball and a snowball with a 4-person lineup on both sides. Also, the ranged AoE circle, both groups stack. The fireball and the snowball groups switch. You share damage LOS on both sides. Shortly after, the fire boss will do an AoE pushback, and the ice will do an AoE pull-in. Healers can Iron Will and must AoE heal through the phase. Any casting will most likely be interrupted. Ice cage and fire circles will then happen, where you need to go to the middle and find your buddy. And then you have ice puddles with the spread and fireside purple rectangles, LOS, which is, again, hiding behind the pillar. You repeat until the boss reaches 33%. The third phase starts at the end of the above phase, with lower HP boss regains HP to the amount of the higher HP boss. The phase ends at the boss's death. Bosses must die close in time together, and the fireball and the snowball, 4-person lineup on both sides, need to be executed properly. There is a safe lineup and a dangerous lineup. The dangerous lineup is when most likely you'll be having people get the stacking AoE ability that need to hide behind a pillar, but they were supposed to be lined up with you. Please ensure you have your raid watch out for this mechanic, and ensure there's always 4 people in the line, because if that fireball or frostball reaches the middle, it will explode and kill the whole raid. You again will have the ranged AoE circle on both groups, and the fireball and snowball groups will switch, followed by the fireball and the snowball again, but with LOS on both groups. That's the dangerous one at the same time. The fire boss will then do an AoE pushback, and the ice boss will then do an AoE pull-in. Healers again can Iron Will and must AoE heal through the phase. You will then have another Find Your Buddy phase with the ice cage and fire circles. These two need to stack up to break people out of the ice blocks. And then you'll have the ice puddles and the spread with fireside purple rectangles. Ranged AoE circle, and both groups stack up to make sure they don't get hit by that. Another thing I will note is this fight is all about mechanics. Stop your DPS and do the mechanics, as this boss is not a huge DPS race. You do need to have a decent amount of damage, but this is all mechanics. Make sure the tanks are swapping at about 5 stacks. You should use 4 tanks for this fight, having 2 tanks on each side, swapping at 5 stacks. Once they each have a fire debuff, they will then run to the other side of the room to the frost debuff, get 5 stacks of those, and then back and forth the whole entire fight. The people that take the snowball and the fireball on each side need to swap sides, stopping in the middle, because the bosses will do an AoE, and if you're not going to make it to the circle in time, it's better to just wait in the middle. Hopefully this guide will help new players progress further in the game. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. Till next time, stay safe.